Hey folks, this is not Jeffrey Bogus here. This is Tristan Moore. I am the co-host of Hard Ticket, but I am doing a hostile takeover today of the blind spots.
I wouldn't call it very hostile.
A friendly takeover.
Yeah, you asked, and we were more than happy to have you on. Oh, this is Josh Brown, by the way. The less than not the guy who's on here all the time.
Not all the time, although you are our most frequent guest on Hard Ticket. You've been on 3 episodes.
Yeah, I guess
Remember? We brought you onto the Sharknado episode as a last minute.
That was a hostile takeover. You guys literally broke into my house.
Yeah, we did it at your family table.
Like my great grandfather's table, you monsters.
Yes. So we're doing an episode of the blind spots today, and you guys did your original discussion that you didn't release. It was the Goonies, which was one of Jeff's blind spots.
Jeff has never seen the Goonies.
And then the last episode, the one that you guys actually released, was Stand By Me, which again Jeff had not seen. And me, being a devoted listener to my own podcast.
Wow.
And the blind spots. I think I listened to the blind spots discussion like 3 or 4 times, honestly. Like I love listening to it. I think it's an awesome format and everything.
Thank you.
But something that struck me, I was like, okay, we need to do a blind spot for Josh. But then, so I got so excited, I made my own list. Yeah. Selfishly, I made a top 10 list of movies that are my blind spots.
It's really fun to do, absolutely.
It is, yeah. It's one of those things this format makes you introspective and be like, oh, what are the movies that I haven't seen that I want to talk about? But I thought if I'm going to do a takeover, I need to ingratiate myself onto you and Jeff.
Oh.
So I figured I would do one of your blind spots first.
Appreciate it.
Which today we were talking about a classic. Let's see, when did this movie come out? 2002.
2002, yeah, around that time.
Signs by M. Night Shyamalan.
Is that how you say it?
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan?
Oh. How would you say it?
I think I say it just because everybody rushes through it. I do the M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan, okay.
Even though there is a Y in there.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right, dude. And maybe
I don't think I am. I think you're absolutely right in that regard. But yeah, this is a big one for me. Not much history with this movie in particular, but it definitely gets brought up all the time in all the M. Night Shyamalan conversation, which I know we're going to be getting into.
We are going to be getting into the conversation. We're going to talk a little bit about Shyamalan, how familiar you are with him. We're going to talk a little bit about how familiar you are with Signs itself. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to talk a little bit about canon and about what it means to actually be a blind spot. Because you guys, you did Stand By Me first. And I'll be honest, I hadn't seen Stand By Me until a couple of years ago. My initial thought wouldn't be to consider it a blind spot, just because it's not on the same echelon as like Jeff hasn't seen Titanic. He hasn't seen Saving Private Ryan.
Jeff has some major blind spots.
Yes. You and I haven't seen Scarface. Those are major blind spots where it's like, you haven't seen, what? Are you kidding me?
You call yourself a movie guy.
You're
but
a cinephile? Yeah,
Signs?
Exactly. So that's going to be part of the discussion today. Is Signs truly a blind spot? Because that's something that we have to kind of talk about a little bit. It's not just about you've seen the movie, what did you think about it? You got to kind of figure how it figures into the canon itself.
Exactly. And I think that comes through a mix of both appreciation of the movie from the person who's seen it before, that being you in this case, and from the viewpoint of someone who just watched the movie. Is this a movie that like you just go out there to the public running around like a raving madman saying, everybody watch Signs? Because like being, not to tie this back to, I'm a social studies teacher, but teaching 11 and 12-year-olds, when we talked about Stand By Me, that was a huge one where I'm like, I kind of want all of my students to watch this movie.
Okay.
And I don't want them to walk out of there saying, that's my favorite movie ever.
Sure.
I don't think many people have it as that echelon, as you were saying.
Yeah.
But it's one that feels like if you just have it in there, in the back of your head, like that when people reference, say, Shawshank or Green Mile.
Sure, yeah.
Other famous dramatic Stephen King adaptations. You don't want to forget about Stand By Me.
Exactly.
And the impact that has on so many people at varying points in their lives.
Well, I think you guys made a convincing argument for it being an actual blind spot. And especially, after Rob Reiner passed, I felt like it was very timely.
Yeah.
So Signs.
So you heard the conversation on the Stand By Me, a totally sentimental movie, especially after the unfortunate passing of Reiner, and you said, wow.
Let's do Signs.
Let's do Shyamalan.
Let's do Shyamalan. Yeah, so I am curious because, for me, the Shyamalan filmography, it is contentious.
Oh,
can we say that? It's super
you absolutely can. I think only now is it starting to get like, and I'm sorry to jump forward here to the end of his filmography, which this is still continuing, hopefully.
Yeah.
Knock on whatever. Where it's starting to get like that, oh, it's been like 15 years since those contentious movies that you're like, well, let's actually take a look at it. And like, let's reanalyze that. But
yes.
No, let's talk about it.
Yeah, is he just like an eccentric auteur, or like what happened there in the middle of his filmography? Like, okay, for me personally, for Signs, I would say like, okay, his most famous movie is The Sixth Sense, obviously. That is like, I think, undeniably a blind spot. If you haven't seen Sixth Sense, people are like, you haven't seen The Sixth Sense? You don't know about the twist at the end of Sixth Sense?
Absolutely.
By the way, spoilers for like any Shyamalan movie. We are liable to spoil it in this episode.
Yeah, if you know nothing about M. Night Shyamalan right now, it's that he's most known for, unfortunately so, is the third act twist.
Yes.
And the absolute insanity that those twists usually like involve or include. And yeah, when we go through every M. Night movie here or through his filmography, we're definitely going to be spoiling. Like, this is the one where this happens. This is the one where this happens. So, listener beware. You're in for a spoiler. Is that what we want to say? So like, but don't worry. Like, I'm a firm believer in like a good movie can't be spoiled.
Yeah.
But some of these movies kind of ride on that third act twist.
Yeah. Sixth Sense is famous for its late act twist. Bruce Willis is actually, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's
I See Dead People is probably where you've heard of that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Blind Spot of Jeffrey, by the way.
That is a blind spot of Oh, damn.
Yeah.
So he has to edit this.
Yeah, he does. Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows.
I already asked.
Okay, good.
Because it's just that big of a movie.
It's like I'm Your Father. You know, it's like it's something that everybody knows. Anyways, Sixth Sense, that's the top of the filmography. The second place of Shyamalan, like the most famous, kind of like the one that people are like, what? You haven't seen that? Mm-hmm. It's either Split or it's Signs. I really think those are the two kind of jostling for second place.
Okay, so that's interesting because for me, I would say it's his second big. Well, obviously he had like one before Sixth Sense. That was like this drama.
He had like
whatever.
Two actually. That no one's ever seen.
No one cares about because they don't have these twists.
Also, they're apparently really bad.
Yeah, they're rough if you look at Letterboxd apparently. But for me, my introduction to Shyamalan was actually Unbreakable.
That's my favorite Shyamalan.
That is also my favorite Shyamalan.
It's my favorite superhero movie too. So like,
I'd agree with that.
It's in the echelons, upper echelons. I don't think Unbreakable is necessarily as much of a blind spot as this Signs though, because I think fewer people have seen it. I think that's part of what makes something a blind spot.
So this is interesting. For our generation, I would say Split is huge as well because it just came out like when I was so it was like January of 2017. So I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And it's this PG-13 movie coming out. Everybody's like taking their dates and their parents are dropping them off to see this movie about the guy with like a bunch of different personalities. And it's Professor X from the X-Men movies.
And it's also coming out during like the height of like A24 elevated horror, like kind of coming out too.
Yeah, so. It's kind of weird. It's like during that, the Vavitch era.
Yeah, the Vavitch, Get Out, all that stuff.
But then like before that, because you have a bunch of people who reference what I heard about before. The biggest one was either The Last Airbender, or The Happening.
Those are his most infamous.
Yes, and that's the era that surrounds Shyamalan as well.
Yes,
because what I always hear about is the fall off. This guy made Sixth Sense, and then what I heard also was this guy made Unbreakable. Mm-hmm. Signs was the one that I would hear not mentioned that much.
Yeah, I'll say this. M. Night, when he was coming up, he was sort of hailed as like the next Spielberg.
Yeah.
He was part of this is a tradition of filmmakers in like the 90s and the 2000s. You had like Roland Emmerich. He was hailed as the little Spielberg.
Abrams, legitimately so.
Abrams, yes. Very strongly here in America. And then M. Night, with The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable, I think those were his movies where people were like, oh, he's really kind of doing the Spielberg thing.
Like the way he
Signs a little bit too.
Well, yeah, if you're being called the next Spielberg, let me make an alien movie.
Exactly, an alien invasion film. And then The Village a little bit. So the drop-off with M. Night is generally considered to be, if you're a Signs fan, then it's like The Village. If you're the Village fan, it's Lady in the Water.
Yes.
And because that's another movie that like a lot of people haven't seen, Lady in the Water. So you can kind of skip over that and be, okay, The Happening.
Yes.
That's the next one in the filmography.
That's the bottom.
That is the bottom. He bottoms out with The Happening and The Last Airbender, and then After Earth. That's 3 bottoms, actually.
He somehow keeps bottoming.
Yes. That row of 3 movies, The Happening, which I kind of enjoy.
I watched it with friend of the podcast, Jake Taylor.
Yeah.
Watching any terrible movie with that man will make that terrible movie an enjoyable experience like no other.
He's a jovial human being.
Oh my gosh, yes, that's the perfect word.
Jovial Jake, that's what we call him.
And I don't know if we can credit this to Shyamalan, but it's entertaining as hell.
Oh, it is, yeah.
But is that intentional?
I don't know. To me, it seems like it's sort of like harkening back to like 50s kind of like sci-fi B movies a little bit with like the really stilted performances and everything.
You get the greatest line delivery ever between.
What? No.
You're trying to kill me, aren't you? No, ma'am. No, we're not.
What?
And you're like, how did this stay in?
Oh, it's awful.
And like that sparks like this whole debate about this guy. And then I guess what comes after Earth then, or after Earth,
yeah,
would be the one that like, once again, we didn't really connect it to the guy because it was just big to us in middle school. This was like 7th or 8th grade for me, was The Visit.
Yeah.
Creepy grandma yelling Yahtzee.
The diaper in the face, right?
Yes, diaper in the face, being put in an oven.
Yes.
PG-13 middle school horror movie that we all came back. We're like, oh my gosh, The Visit.
So fun fact about me.
Oh, please.
My first kiss was during a showing of The Visit.
Was it during the diaper scene?
You know, it might have been. I can't remember.
No.
I don't remember.
Oh, yours is much more interesting. Mine was during Coco.
Oh, wow. No, Coco, that sounds more romantic.
I don't remember a damn thing that happens in Coco because of that movie.
Because of the kiss.
Yeah. She offered me a mint. This stays in.
This stays in the show. All right.
Anywho, yes. So The Visit and then Split.
Yes.
People hailed that as kind of like.
That's his return.
Yeah, but which is interesting because.
You don't like The Visit.
The Visit is god awful, but in the sense that The Happening is.
Yeah.
I would happily sit down with like you and Jeff.
Yes.
At like on a New Year's Eve and be like, guys, let's watch The Visit.
Yeah.
At like 1.5 speed. it would make for the greatest time ever.
Yeah.
But then Split, I haven't watched since like 2017.
Yeah, it's probably been since it came out, but I remember enjoying it.
It was huge.
Yeah.
It was doing gangbusters.
Yeah.
Which then led to a movie that I still haven't seen.
You ever seen Glass?
I never want to because it was quote unquote spoiled for me.
Okay.
Because everybody was saying how bad it was.
It is a lackluster ending to a pretty solid trilogy, I would say.
One that I don't even know if we want to since having not seen Glass, I don't know if I should say that. Should it even be a trilogy because Split doesn't really reveal. Well, spoiler for Split. The twist is that it takes place in the Unbreakable universe.
Right.
But I'm like, we didn't spend any time with these other characters that from before, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson for Glass. Like, why are we going back to that or like including this other movie in there? It felt like kind of like, to me on the outside, having not seen Glass, a really cheap way to just be like, let's do Unbreakable 2.
Yeah, and I guess this maybe gets a little bit into M. Night's sort of... He explores a lot of spiritual themes in his films.
Yeah.
And Unbreakable feels like a way of exploring, okay, can there be superheroes and supervillains in the real world? Mm-hmm. He's basically trying to tap the limits of the human being, you know, like the heroism of Bruce Willis versus the villainy of Sam Jackson. And then he taps, you know, James McAvoy on the shoulder for Split, and it's this guy who is literally split between all these different personalities.
Yeah.
So he's trying to just kind of plumb the depths of whatever a human being can be.
Yeah.
And say something about that. So I feel like thematically, I see why Split gets tacked on to Unbreakable. Mm-hmm. It's like a sleeper sequel, which, you know, Unbreakable's so good that I'm like, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the sequel thing.
Yeah.
You know? And especially at a time when like Split was coming out, and I mean still today, honestly, just like the glut of sequels and remakes and spinoffs and everything. And then Split comes along, it's a sequel, but it doesn't make a big deal about it.
No, it's
a sequel thematically.
Yes.
Like, you have to think about, you're like, oh, okay. Like I understand like the connections Shyamalan's drawing between these characters now.
That's true. But do we give him too much credit? Because then we follow up Glass with like old.
Dude.
Right?
Dude. I love old.
Oh, it's the time of like I saw that with my friends in the theater. It was like 2021. I'm like, guys, we got to get back to the theater. You know how we go back to the theater? I'm going to take you to see an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Because by this point, I did the deep dive.
Okay.
And my friends had the time of their life just laughing at the beach that makes you old.
It's the old beach, dude.
Which sure has a ton to say about the human condition.
Sure. Sure. I think it's about filmmaking, actually.
Really?
I think the movie's about filmmaking. Yeah,
that's why the end happens.
Yeah, it's like a director and everything at the end, right? Isn't that what happens?
It's literally him.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Spoilers for Old, by the way.
Yeah, I haven't seen Old since it came out, but I remember really liking it and feeling like it was bold. Old was bold. All right.
You felt so good about that take.
Yes. I love Old. I'm an unabashed. I am a M. Night fanboy. Like I am. I do really love his films. I think he's an auteur. He has weird eccentricities that I think a lot of people kind of write off as just like incompetence, and I don't think it is. I think he just has a weird sense of
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
2 movies from now.
Okay.
From Old, because next is Knock at the Cabin. I have not seen Knock at the Cabin.
Okay.
I heard solid stuff.
It's solid, yeah.
It's solid.
I like it.
But then, and I think we'll just skip over Knock at the Cabin because we have to.
This whole thing, Josh.
This whole thing is
it's
because
a trap.
Yes, you're actually listening to a Blind Spots on Trap, not Signs. Because when those trailers played for Trap, and you see Josh Hartnett like doing the demonic smile and like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And I'm just like, yes, please. And then like I was all down for it. My uncle and I were like foaming at the mouth for this movie to be out because of the history that comes before.
Yes.
And what was coming before this, like you had Split and you had The Visit and you're like, okay, yeah. And then you had Glass and it's like, oh God, this guy's kind of the same. He's old and you're like, you're doing the same in a fun way.
Yeah.
It's bad, but it's fun. And then Knock at the Cabin, which I heard was actually kind of like grounded in a sense.
For the most part. The ending is a little out there, but yeah.
And then it's like, oh no, we're doing serial killer like stuck in an arena and the cops are trying to chase him down and this looks insane.
Yes.
And it's gonna be entertaining as hell. And sure enough, my uncle and I, during the first 2 acts of that movie, we had the whole theater to ourselves, like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Oh, perfect.
Cackling.
Yeah.
Just electric. Because that, I think, is the best example of this guy knows what he's doing. He absolutely has to know.
He casts his own daughter as like a famous singer who like saves the day.
But it's also got the history at that point where like Josh Hartnett also knows what movie he is in.
Yeah.
And it is just constantly winking at us and I'm like doing like the 2 fingers back at the screen the whole time. And then the 3rd act of that movie happens and I'm like...
Third act is a little weaker. And that's the thing with Shyamalan. Like you have to... Sometimes the 3rd act... They always say like the 3rd act makes or breaks a movie. I don't necessarily agree with that. But it is like... It leaves the impression after you walk out of the theater. It's like, okay, what does it feel like?
Yeah.
For Trap, it was like...
You're kind of commenting on like how we should be feeling right now, and you're calling me out. Sure, I'm having an absolute great time watching the serial killer evade the cops.
Right.
And then it just gets super serious, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you're asking your actors to act now, and it kind of sucks.
It's like a lecture kind of thing.
Yeah, it turns very in that M. Night lecture as well.
Well, Josh, let's jump all the way back to Signs.
Yeah,
I'm curious to. So I guess I can kind of tell you like my history with Signs.
Absolutely, I would love to hear it.
So we covered, let's see, I think 2 alien invasion films on Hard Ticket: War of the Worlds and Independence Day. Very important films in my like childhood upbringing. I was terrified of aliens, so those films scarred me. Another alien invasion film that scarred me as a kid was Signs.
This is the one that I hear a lot of like. Thanks for the childhood trauma, M. Night. And yeah, because after we just like discussed like that entire filmography, it is really interesting that I haven't seen what is obviously what some say is the best that I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this was like, we're what, year 26, 27?
28.
28. Okay. So like I turned 25 later this year. Okay. We're in the same age bracket here.
Right.
And I have a bunch of friends that are like, yeah, dude. Signs. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I know some stuff about Signs.
Okay.
I think my biggest background obviously is like Watch Mojo 10 WTF twist in movies or worst twist in movies, which spoiler alert, if you've seen the Nostalgia Critic clip, is that these aliens are like allergic or their weakness is water.
Okay.
Which Jeff, please clip in the clip of Nostalgia Critic going to, oh yeah, let's just invade a planet mostly filled with water. He says it in that exact voice. Okay. Sorry for peeking the mic. And also, like, I've seen the Tin Hats, and I've also seen, I think what you're referencing is the flippin' alien looking like Bigfoot.
Oh yeah, walking across the TV.
Like, what we're about to show you on is going to be extremely distressing.
Yes.
And then it's just like Bigfoot.
Well, he's walking across the screen.
Yeah. Anywho,
that scared the shit out of me when I was like 9.
I was just gonna say, how old were you then? So you were like 9.
Yeah, I was like late elementary school, I think.
Wow.
When I watched Signs, the first movie I remember watching of Shyamalan, I think, was Sixth Sense, which also scared the shit out of me.
So you watched that before 9 years old?
Like around the same time, I think. I think my parents were on like an M. Night binge or something.
And they were just like, Tristan, have a seat.
Oh yeah, like they're like famously like anxious, neurotic child. They were like, let's just show him like the scariest movies like ever for a kid.
They're PG-13. Nothing bad can happen.
Dude, for a kid, man, it's tough. It's tough.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you know the twist in Signs.
I do, but I know nothing else.
You know nothing else.
I know it's just got Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, water spills, and tinfoil hats.
That's all you know.
That's all I know.
Okay. Well, I will say this. As somebody who lives, like you live in rural Pennsylvania, and this film takes place in rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Wait, it does. Oh, how could I not know that? Yeah, because like a staple of M. Night movies are that they all take place in like either Philly or PA.
Yeah. Oh
exactly. My God.
So this is a rural PA film.
Oh my God.
So maybe if you had watched this maybe when you were 9,
I would have. This would have this would have terrified me. Yeah. I would have been afraid to walk outside at night with stuff like this.
Did you didn't have like a cornfield by any chance, did you?
I live by many.
Oh.
I live by many.
Okay, awesome. So this might kind of tap into a little bit of your like childhood, cuz you were born in what, 2002?
Late 01.
Late 01. Okay, so yeah, you were just like a little baby.
Yeah. My parents like dad always, like his favorite movies are like Gettysburg.
Oh, nice.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Movies from his, like when he was a teenager, and mom watches whatever. But like I don't remember any mention of M. Night growing up, or like any M. Night movie, other than my dad had The Sixth Sense spoiled for him by his sister.
Oh, damn. And he never let her live it down.
No, he still brings it up all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can't believe that nobody ever brings that up. Like around me, then you're the first person to ever draw this connection.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually, because I think the Letterboxd description even is like in somewhere in rural Pennsylvania.
That's why this is such a strange blind spot for me, because like I said, I did the deep dive on M. Night. I thought about making him my next like 100% after Spielberg. I just looked at that list and I would have had to seen After Earth.
Yeah.
I would have had to watch Lady in the Water.
After Earth is my least favorite M. Night.
I haven't seen anybody say it's even a fun time.
No, it's pretty boring.
Yeah. And I would have to watch like The Last Airbender.
All right, Josh. Yeah. As we're kind of closing out here, this first half segment, I'm curious to know, or I'm curious to hear what you think is going to happen in Signs.
Oh, God. I think, well, obviously M. Night has to show up as a character.
Okay.
This is early filmography and I know it just grows and grows and grows, although I don't think he was in The Village. That's the most recent one that I
think he is in The Village, actually.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
he's part of the plot twist, isn't he?
Yeah.
You are absolutely right. Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah.
Beautiful movie. And then you realize, it's because of Roger Deakins, not because of M. Night Shyamalan. So, like, what do I think happens? Well, cornfields, by the sound of it.
Cornfields? What happens in the cornfields?
Well, looking at the poster, I would say I think that Chicken Little kind of spoiled Signs for me.
A little bit.
In that fashion. I think people are afraid. I don't hear anything like about like horror elements other than that bit that terrified you. So I'm wondering, is this going to be more of like have you seen The Mist?
I love The Mist.
So like I've never seen it the whole way through, but like I always know about like the Marcia Gay Harden, like this is like a religious like telling, and I feel like that's going to be a big part of it.
Yeah.
Of like debating like, is this punishment from God for what we have done? It comes out what, 03? Is that what we said?
02.
02. So I wouldn't say it's definitely not like a response to 9/11 or anything like that, unless they fast-tracked the heck out of this or they did some reshoots.
Yeah, I would say it's probably I wouldn't read that into it
Okay.
necessarily, but no, I think the religious thing that's a smart kind of thing to grab onto. The Mist, I was thinking about hard ticket matchups with this. I was like, what other movies are like Signs? The first thing that came to mind was Nope. I was thinking Jordan Peele's Nope.
I love Nope.
Yeah, really good. But The Mist actually might be a decent matchup too. So at some point we may actually do that.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, other than that, like I don't know. I don't want to get into the Mel Gibson discussion because this is about like the end of his.
There's plenty of time to talk about Mel Gibson. I think this is our other because I think The Patriot also came out. It was like 01 or 02.
2000, I think.
2000.
Is about that time.
So this is like peak Gibson.
Yeah, so I guess we can save the conversation for about like why this is such a big one for you. Why you looked at me and said, "Josh, we have to talk Signs until after we watch the movie."
I think to sort of preempt that discussion that we are going to get into right after you watch the movie, I'm curious, has it been in your life? Has it been your experience that people have come up to you like and you've been like, "I've never watched Signs," and they're like, "Really?" Like kind of a little surprised?
It only comes up when discussing, and I think this will be part of the conversation about the canon later.
Yes.
It comes up because it falls under the umbrella of the man who made it, and that is Shyamalan.
Okay.
And the entertaining circus tent that this is. And yeah, when I'm like, oh yeah, Sixth Sense, oh yeah, Unbreakable, oh my gosh, The Happening. They're like, yeah, and Signs, right? I'm like, I actually haven't seen that one.
And they're like,
that's the only time. Like if it were be like, hey, what movies in general have you not seen? If I would go Signs, I don't think people really would be like, how have you not seen that? But
do you tend to lump it though into those movies that you haven't seen?
If I say that, then well, no, actually, I don't.
Okay.
Like I said, it only really comes up as a bunch of them do.
I'm curious because you did actually share your blind spots list with me, but I think I might have recommended Signs before you did that. Was it on your list already, or was it just on your watch list and I saw it?
I think it was just on my watch list, and you were like, you haven't seen this? Because my uncle's been wanting me to watch this one for a while. Okay. He gives me like a monthly double feature.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find the right one to pair it up with.
Oh, nice.
Which he's like, you're doing Signs because I told him what we were doing this weekend. But yeah, I think that's going to make for a very interesting part of our post-movie conversation, as in what makes an individual blind spot for this guy, or is it truly you haven't seen M. Night movies? Okay, here's the package.
Yeah, this is just another brick in the wall, basically.
Yeah, basically. So yeah.
All right. Well, Josh, I think this is we're about 30 minutes in. I think we should boot up the old projector.
Wait, what? We have this on film? You didn't tell me that.
It's a metaphor.
Oh.
It's a sign, dude. It's a symbol.
Everywhere a sign, man. Everywhere a sign. But yes, if you want to watch along, pause the podcast here, as I'm sure Jeffrey's going to put in some very interesting interlude music.
Yeah.
And feel free to go out, watch Signs, whether it's a first-time watch for you. You can think along, yell at us, hell no, this is not a blind spot, or hell yes, everybody must watch this.
Right.
Or if you've seen it before, watch it again. See if there's anything like in the conversation that you think would add to it.
All right.
After the fact.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Josh,
well,
we're back. We're back from our viewing of Signs.
Yeah.
You were on your phone the entire time.
No, that's a lie. But welcome back, everybody. Don't listen to this. I was on my phone for probably 1 minute.
Yeah, what were you on? Like Hinge? That's the only dating app designed to be deleted. So, were you deleting it?
Yeah, which brings us to our sponsor today. Not Hinge.
Josh, you just watched Signs.
I did just watch Signs. We watched Signs.
We just watched Signs.
Jeffrey wouldn't shut up.
Your just top level impression. I'm eager to hear.
Yeah. So yeah, he really is they really were trying to compare him to Spielberg, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think he should be trying to play that sport.
You don't think so?
I don't think he. Yeah.
What is the sport?
The sport in spectacle almost.
Okay.
Because I'll say this plain as day. That movie was really underwhelming to me.
It was underwhelming.
It was underwhelming.
Okay.
And I think that this is easily just going to tie back into our conversation that we were having prior as the Shyamalan experience.
Okay.
So this I can definitely see, like, yes, this plays exactly in line with The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. This is nowhere even remotely close to the funhouse that this becomes with like The Visit and Trap.
Okay.
And Old.
Okay.
Not that I was expecting that.
Yeah,
Trust me, I did not go into this expecting like madcap, let's kill some aliens.
Oh yeah.
I was expecting something along the lines of Unbreakable.
Okay.
And it was.
Okay.
In tone.
Okay.
And boy, oh boy, does some of that stuff that I didn't like about like The Village come into play with this one. It feels stilted as hell, man.
It feels stilted. Okay.
Like that's what I'm gonna say. And like, yeah, when it literally opens, I think like the first thing I said was, "Oh, hey, this is produced by like the same people."
Oh yeah, it's Frank Marshall, Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, who do. And then I'm like, boy, this score sounds a lot like. Well, I can't blame it on this because War of the Worlds came out after.
But it sounds like John Williams.
It sounds like John Williams' score, like which, by the way, we never get a moment that exhilarating in the movie, which I feel like it kind of set me up for like, man, I don't think the movie's trying to be that.
No, like you're talking about spectacle, and to me, the film feels it's so grounded. It's just like this farmhouse.
It is
basically,
and I really did appreciate that.
Yeah,
I really did, because exactly what you just said. This movie is grounded in a way that it's more of like, how is this international phenomenon, incident going on? How does it affect a family that's already been through such a traumatic recent experience?
Right.
Sounds like it was within the last year.
6 months, I think.
6 months. What they say. Is what Mel Gibson says. How long hasn't been like a reverend or a father, pastor. And yeah, what would something like this, the effect that would have on a family? And I was digging that. I really was. I like immediately picked up like, oh, we're not going to see these aliens. Or if we do, it's going to be in like little tiny glimpses or in micro doses. And I liked that.
Okay.
But then there's bits where it's kind of like...
What bits?
Like the pantry.
Okay.
Or say like the entire like almost third act.
Okay.
When they're putting themselves in the house. I feel like we should be going like sequentially with the movie instead of just jumping all over.
Well, yeah, I mean, for reference, I mean, we just finished it like less than 10 minutes ago.
Yes, this is fresh. This is all just fresh. My immediate thoughts, and yeah, this ties back into earlier as what you were saying is the third act makes or breaks the movie. And I don't want to focus on that third act because I think there's a lot. There's a lot in that first and second that, for me, I wanted to be better. Yeah, it's a lot of those Shyamalan-isms. Like, yeah, we were laughing at the "I'm very angry right now."
Oh yeah.
Running around the house.
I'm insane with anger.
It's that Shyamalan dialogue.
Okay.
That feels like it's written from a comic book, almost. And I don't think it just translates well because we know Joaquin Phoenix to be a good actor. Mel Gibson, screw you, hate that guy. He's given many great performances.
Yeah. Do you like his performance in Signs?
I didn't.
You didn't?
I didn't.
At all?
At all. Not even with all like the... I hated that flashback sequence.
Oh, with the wife.
Like, let's just chop it up. Let's tease it. Why don't we? No, like it's okay to just say like what happened.
Yeah.
And sit with that.
You don't feel like as it's sort of revealed throughout the story, it's like being revealed at impactful character moments. Like the end of it, when you actually get to see her and she's like giving like
oh my god,
her final like words and everything. It ties into the invasion.
Yeah, I'm using air quotes right now when I say it ties in. No, it is. And then we get reminded of every little thing throughout the movie, of the whole coincidences and what kind of person are you?
Oh yeah, I mean the movie's called Signs. It's
and it's like, oh, you get it now. It's called Sign. It's very. It thinks it's smarter than it really is.
You think so?
I feel like. But this is me coming off the cuff of it, after seeing like 80% of the other Shyamalan movies.
Okay.
And I think for me, if I would like, let's say like I was 18 or 19 back in like 2002.
Okay.
I saw Sixth Sense, or I heard all the hype around it. I went and saw Unbreakable. And now this is the next movie coming out from this guy. Not knowing what's coming in the future, I think maybe this would have sat better with me.
Really?
I do. I think this is such like seeing this late, seeing it freshly, and kind of knowing like what he like, because what you saw this like at 9 years old, right?
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Like seeing it at this stage in the Shyamalan experience, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, obviously this is like everything the guy does wrong, or like at least glimpses of what the guy, the bad rabbit holes that this guy is going to go down. And while I was like, yes, I totally get what this movie is trying to do, and it looks gorgeous, it looks great, there's some really fun things it does, but at points it's like, are you going to be like a serious, grounded, hey, let's look at this impact that this has on this family, or are we going to try and like, because there aren't really any set pieces. But they're kind of, I'm rambling now. I'm rambling. Save me.
This is interesting. I mean, it is like your high level, like top thoughts, like you're trying to process through what you just watched.
I really am, because like I said, I see exactly what it's going for.
Sure.
And I recognize like what he's trying to explore. As we said earlier, yes.
Spiritual.
There's very like
spirituality.
A lot of spirituality to it. I guess I just didn't like the way it's laid out. Like that felt so stupid to me. The whole, not even the reveal of water, because that wasn't even nearly like, I don't think that's the plot twist.
No.
I think the plot twist is you were told the whole time what to do at this very moment. Ever since your wife died, she told you how to do it.
Right.
And is it a coincidence or a sign from God? We know what Mel Gibson thinks at the end of the movie.
Sure.
But it's almost like, to me, like this movie just shouldn't have had that alien at the end. They should have came out of the basement and it's over.
It's just done.
Or like they bond in that experience that they had, in that traumatic experience that they had, instead of just like.
So you leave off Mel Gibson saying that like he hates God.
Well, I mean,
because that's what this movie is really about. It's about a reverend who loses faith in God, and he has to try and regain that faith. So why set
it against the backdrop of alien invasion? I think for me is
would you? So you want something a little more like conventional in terms of like a religious drama?
So like I want something more conventional, because you have the scene with him and M. Night, sitting in his car, where it's almost slightly confrontation, or at least like almost closure.
It is.
Yeah, it's closure from that incident before.
Yeah.
Immediately followed up by, there's an alien in my pantry. Be careful.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, and that's why he called him.
Well, yeah, but then we go like.
So
couldn't it have just been like, hey, like an alien tried attacking me and I killed it and I'm gone, instead of like, let's have this now, let's do like a Spielberg-esque scene.
So you don't find it realistic? Is that sort of?
It's a movie that kind of wants to be realistic and grounded, but set against extraordinary premise. And I don't think that
they sew together.
I don't think they sew together. I think there is a movie that can do that, and I know there's a bunch of movies that do.
Yeah.
I don't think he works with, especially because like that's what works with Unbreakable so well. Unbreakable is an extraordinary premise. It's a superhero movie, but with such a grounded tone and way of going about it.
What about The Sixth Sense?
The Sixth Sense, I think, is a grounded exploration of a relationship, but with an extraordinary premise. Like, he's talking to this kid who sees dead people, and half of that movie, especially the half through Haley Joel Osment's point of view, is terrifying. It's a true horror movie. And this one is like, let's do that again. Let's have this grounded look at a family dealing with a traumatic grief and a traumatic experience, but aliens. And that's when the levee broke. You pushed and you pushed and you pushed.
So you can handle. I see dead people.
I handle it because he did it well.
I have superpowers, but for you, it's like the alien. Is it just the alien thing on its surface?
I think it's because Unbreakable, you have the point of view of his kid,
Okay.
who sees him as a superhero, like he really is. Like that whole weightlifting scene.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How much is it now? And it's like, oh my God, you feel that.
Yes.
Because you get both the heart in it with also that backdrop of it being a superhero movie.
Right.
They collide perfectly.
Okay, this is interesting then.
Yeah.
So Unbreakable, you have the child in Unbreakable, and I can't remember the actor's name now, but obviously Haley Joel Osment is in The Sixth Sense. So you have these two childlike point of views that you feel like kind of marry the grounded with the surreal.
Yes.
In Signs, you also have two children.
You do.
You have Rory Culkin and his sister, who I can't remember her actress either. Do you not feel that they are on the same level as like a Haley Joel Osment?
Because we only get like one scene with them, and that was like, and it worked. It was the scene with the dog with Houdini.
Okay,
like that's the only scene I think that we get only with them, other than maybe the bookstore. But yeah, seeing this phenomena through their eyes, like that was tense. Like with Houdini, like just growling, and like I love that Rory Culkin's character is so calm and incredibly intelligent. Because I feel like that would have made for some really fun stuff. But almost every other scene with them is through the eyes of Mel Gibson's character, who is we are seeing him trying to process all of this while also getting the flashbacks of the incident and all that. I think if they would have gone down that like route where like we see, because Unbreakable, you get the 3 points of views in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
You get David Dunn, his kid, and Mr. Glass. And when we kind of jump back and forth between those 3 points of views, and the kid's point of view really only is like that weightlifting scene. But like when we have David Dunn exploring his past and processing his current relationship as a security guard and as a father and as a husband in a damaged relationship.
Yeah.
And then we have that point of view from Samuel Jackson's character constantly and what he's dealing with. It feels fresh, and I feel like when M. Night breaks it up, it chunks it, it works much better that way. This movie, the vast majority of it is through the eyes of Mel Gibson's character.
Okay.
And am I wrong in that? Would we say that?
I mean, there are certain scenes. I think Rory Culkin for me makes a strong impression in this film.
He does.
He always has for me. There's the scenes where obviously there's some stuff played for laughs, which might be part of the issue because it's not played as seriously as maybe you would think it would.
Yeah,
like the tinfoil hat stuff.
Like I liked like the whole shot with like he walks in the door and they all three have it on. That's funny.
Oh yeah, it's funny. It's funny, and he's reading like the book and everything. You do. What I love about the Rory Culkin character is like he is going to science really to kind of divine meaning from what's going on in the world. And then he says at one point like all the science books are going to have to be rewritten. And it does feel a little bit like M. Night sort of poking the bear, the science thing, being like, science doesn't have all the answers here. Like things are not what they seem.
And it's kind of like the most like, at least the first like obvious thing that he's going for here. It's definitely the grandest like topic he's trying to tackle right now.
Yeah, because there's that great monologue with Mel Gibson, which is probably the best. I think it's the best scene in the movie for me.
Which one's that?
It's where he's sitting with Joaquin Phoenix, and he's talking about how there are two types of people: the people who see signs and the people who just it's like, oh, it's just luck,
Yeah.
And he's like, at the end of the day, the people who say it's just luck, they know that they're alone at the end of all this, and the people who do see signs, they see someone looking out for them. They feel like there's always going to be someone in their corner. And so they're not alone. They have hope.
They have hope, or the others have fear.
He's not really making a commentary on what's true or not. It's more of a commentary on, well, what feels better, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But then he follows it up with Joaquin Phoenix saying like, I almost kissed this girl. And I spit on my gum. And she threw up on herself.
I get what you're saying.
And it's played, and like it's supposed to be funny.
It is funny.
It is.
It's a funny little scene. To me, I don't feel like the I don't feel like the film is being like too smart. Like I don't think it's smarter than it thinks it is. To me, it's unpretentious actually, because all of the actors I feel like are just sort of putting on this like flat affectation. It's almost like they're not even like acting in a way. It's just like reading. We're just reading.
Yes.
They're sort of like robots, like going through the world. There's no sense of like interpretation, right? And this film is all about how do you interpret, how do you divine meaning? And so to put these like blank slates out into the world, especially Mel Gibson.
But let's be honest, do we think that was intentional?
I don't care if it was intentional.
Okay.
Frankly, like
so
it doesn't matter to me.
So that's like, to me, that's even more interesting because what you are saying,
I am interpreting.
And it's great.
Yeah.
Like, I love hearing your interpretation of this. I've seen many others. I've seen why, like, so many people, like, before we started this, within the 10-minute gap, like, yeah, you were saying there's people who are, like, loving this.
Oh, yeah.
And people who are like, what the
Who hate it. Who absolutely hate this movie.
I wouldn't say I'm in the hate camp.
Yeah.
I'm more in the...
Underwhelmed.
Yeah. Yeah, or, like, I kind of want it to have, like, a say, even though I'm like, you set this up all wrong for me. Because, yeah, like, what you're picking at there, absolutely, because that was my next comment, like...
Well, you made a comment about the stiltedness of Shyamalan, and that's in like all of his movies, like every single. Like I think back to the Unbreakable scene with the kid with the gun. Yeah, and he's just like, friends don't shoot other friends or whatever, and it's like,
I'm going to get mad.
Yeah,
if you don't put that down, I'm going to get mad. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But then Samuel Jackson's just like
Sam Jackson. Well, yeah, it's hard to make Sam Jackson stilted unless you're Mace Windu. Like,
yeah,
even I guess George Lucas can do it.
But do you think that was a note on set? Like, don't give this emotion because Joaquin. Oh my God,
was it a note on set? I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the way he directs actors. Yeah, and it happens to, in my opinion, it happens to fit into the broader theme of the film, which is the divining meaning kind of thing. You have the Reverend he's like. He's a conduit to God, right?
Yeah.
He's the center of this film, Mel Gibson. And I know he's
no,
Mel
buddy,
Gibson.
I love when you do this.
We love Mel Gibson. We love Mel Gibson as a performer. Okay. I think in general, I think he's a pretty talented actor. Obviously, as a person, we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think he's giving a solid performance in this movie because it is almost like an anti-acting performance.
Yeah, because this is like right after The Patriot. As you said.
Oh, yeah. And we've already talked about the picture. Yeah. But Mel Gibson, he is sort of like, he's holding so much back, so much within him. And there are just select moments in the film where it kind of breaks through. Especially, I think back to that scene, especially the dinner scene.
I loved the dinner scene.
Oh, it's probably my second favorite scene, honestly, in the movie. And that scene always made me so like anxious as a kid. Just like the idea of like the father who was like, like chastising everybody, like eat your food and stop crying and all this stuff. Like that always just made me feel so anxious. And I think Shyamalan is really like tuning into that frequency where it's like the center of your film is a reverend who has lost his faith, a shepherd without a flock, Yeah. At one point he says to many people, he's like, don't call me father. I'm not a father anymore. He says it right before he says, I can't hear my children too, which feels
that
like
I did like.
Yeah, it's another sort of like M. Night kind of like, nudging you. Like,
I think the first act of this movie is very, very solid.
It's a solid buildup for sure. I think that's probably the strongest part of the film, in my opinion.
But because it's setting up alien invasion.
Well, see, the alien invasion stuff, like, you got to talk about like the literal reading of this, which is like,
yes, okay, and that's the way I am taking it.
And I get it. It's like the nostalgia critic thing. Like, why would you invade? What? Do it. Do it. You gotta do the nostalgia.
Jeff, please put this back in here so I just don't do it. Like,
probably should have thought that through before attacking a planet mostly covered in water.
The thing, like the aliens, they show up in like obviously like arid areas. They're like it's in the summer.
Yeah, M. Night literally says it when they don't really go around water much.
Right. It's something that they pick up on. So the thing with the aliens, it's like they're there to harvest bodies. They're there to reap souls.
Are they?
Yeah, because
they say it on the radio.
Yeah, they come down to Earth. They kill people and they take the bodies and they just leave. Now they are like, oh, I think we might have beat them. And maybe they did. Maybe there was some
Maybe
weakness.
It was like raining.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Maybe there was some weakness. But I think what you're supposed to take from the film is that they just come to Earth to get the like bodies that they need to harvest for whatever reason. It's never explained. It's like a War of the Worlds thing. They grind up.
And and like that's the part of me like I didn't like this is not me saying I want an explanation. Like, tell me why they are here. Show me action with the aliens. Like I said, I thought it was charming, and I realized, oh, cool. We're just gonna get a grounded look at this.
Yes.
Like I said, it just pissed me off when it's like, now we're gonna have an action scene in the basement. Now we're gonna have an action scene at the pantry. But it's not. But it's also not saying anything during that time.
It's not saying anything.
Like for like what you're saying is like like in the stilted acting, like how you're reading this and. Yes, we are exploring this grief with this family. like what just pissed me, like I said, like the biggest example to me is like, yeah, following up that amazing dinner scene.
Yeah.
Whereas it's truly them coming together during this moment and like processing that grief. We follow it up with, well, no, because then you also have like them boarding up the house and like them talking about like when you were born.
Sure.
It's a lot, back to back to back to back.
A lot, yeah.
And his version of let's take a break from this is let's hold the door shut. We'll see the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a minute, there's a coal chute. And like those bits really fell flat for me. Because for me, they weren't like there was no tension. There was more tension, as you said, in the dinner scene.
Okay.
Than there was in those other actions.
I think that's crucial, Josh.
Yes.
I think that is crucial. And I think it's like I was saying, like this is more about a reverend who loses his faith and has to get it back.
Yes.
He is the heart of this movie. The aliens, it's like you were saying earlier, it's backdrop.
It is.
So to me, I don't think about the aliens as much just at all. And I think that's purposeful on Shyamalan's part. I think you're obviously supposed to kind of view them like in a subtextual way. They're demons.
Yeah,
you know?
It's almost like it's the end of the world as we know it. How are you going to spend it?
Yes, it's the rapture.
Yes.
You know, like what are you going to do? It's the reaping of the souls.
Exactly.
You know, this is the long dark night of your soul. Where are you going to be? How are you going to protect yourself against the wolves?
And I loved, and like that's where that's for me where I was like comfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
Like maybe it was just a studio looking at him and being like, dude, everybody loves Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. You got to do some alien stuff in here, but the
aliens are that's the external conflict.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, then there's those scenes where it solely is about that external conflict.
I never do actually see it as solely about the external conflict.
So it's
always foregrounding the internal conflict.
Okay.
Right?
So what would you say that pantry scene is about?
Well, the pantry scene. Well, I love the pantry scene.
Okay.
I'm glad you mentioned the pantry scene.
Let's go for it.
Because you get Mel Gibson walking in and he's like, I'm here with the police.
Oh my God.
I'm one of them, actually.
Oh my God. Let's take them all in the paddy wagon. Paddy wagon. Why would you say that?
What I love about that, though, is, we're talking about acting and stilted performances and sort of a flat affect. Like don't even interpret the lines, just sort of say them. Mm-hmm. That is a scene of an actor acting in the movie, right? Like he is literally pretending to be a cop.
Yeah.
And he stumbles through it and it's like a big,
it's an actor being an actor. Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's like he's a guy who is resisting the idea of interpreting and trying to see greater meaning in things. And here he is trying to put on an affect.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting. But there's also, he grabs the knife. He's using it as sort of like a mirror, trying to see underneath this door. He's trying to get like a closer look, and eventually he just gives up, right? Like he gets up, puts the knife on the counter, and just walks away. And we watch him. It's a one unbroken shot. Walks all the way to the hall. He cannot stop him. He has to see, right? Which is interesting because you kind of get the idea of this reverend as somebody who has like closed himself off to signs, right? To any sort of evidence of, the evidence of things not seen.
Absolutely,
right? That's a biblical quote.
But
then he has to go and see it. He has to come back.
He's the one always downplaying everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But here he is on his own. He's like, okay. So he finally reaches the end of the hallway, turns back around, grabs the knife. He has to like get down on the floor, which is like a great reverse kind of POV shot.
I'm looking at it in the building tension sense. You
didn't feel like it was tense at all?
It was trying. It really was trying.
Yeah.
And like what you're saying, absolutely love what you're saying. Yeah. And the flip side of that coin is, we're also trying to build a scene of tension.
Okay.
Of like, we see like the shadow moving behind the door.
Yeah.
Like this is like E.T. This is like the beginning of E.T. for me.
Oh yeah. It's like when they're looking through the weeds and
and like you see the light coming from the tool shed.
Sure.
And like Elliot's like, what? Like that. This is just like a dark version of that kind of. But yeah, like exactly what you said. And then what do you interpret the cutting off its fingers as?
It's just a marker because eventually that alien is the one that actually assaults like the family, and so
that nobody saw.
It's they're camo, dude. They got camo. Did you miss that?
No,
that's why you didn't see him.
I could see the reflection and stuff, but then we could just see him automatically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was hiding in the house. He was like a camo alien. He's a hider in the house. He's Gary Busey. No, it's just a way to mark the alien.
Yes,
and basically be like,
it's all of like the
it's my personal demon, right? Like that's the whole thing.
He said that Tristan said that while doing air quotes, by the way.
Well, yeah, it's not actually air quotes
because I like Tristan's take on this movie much more than what M. Night Shyamalan. Like, I feel like
you gotta let it go. Yeah, the author is dead,
but
you gotta let it go.
And I think that comes into the broader talk here, because let's be honest, Tristan, this talk isn't going to end up being about science.
It's not just about science.
It's about the M. Night Shyamalan experience.
Okay.
And like,
you don't feel like this was an authentic M. Night experience?
I think it was, in the way that it's frustrating.
And that's the problem.
Yes, I do, because this was this is the biggest example of, I feel like I really felt like he was labeled, as we said at this point, like, and I totally get it. You just had two big successes. One is still a cultural phenomenon to this day. Another one is one that is beloved by many and seen as his best work. I got to swing for the fences with this next one.
Swing away, Josh.
Let's take a I'm saying M. Night is swinging away for the fences with the movie.
Swing away, M. Night.
I am in no batter's box here. I am in the crowd. I am watching him step up, dust off his feet, and he's going to swing at anything that comes down across the plate. Okay. Which I realize now is a point in this movie that is made.
Yeah.
That
maybe there's something there.
I'm going to ask for your interpretation on that in a bit. And he's like, let's tackle this man's struggle with God and belief, and also tackle like science, but not really tackle it, because we're going to be only looking through Mel Gibson's.
Yeah, it's not science per se. It's more just like it's
what does that character represent?
Yeah, well, it's sort of like, people are like, there has to be a rational explanation.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like, oh, M. Night Shyamalan made like a really bad like Turning Point USA God's Not Dead movie with aliens in the background. Not even close.
Yeah,
I don't think it takes like a formal stance on anything. Not that it should. Not that it wants to. But yeah, this one feels like, as we said, he's being labeled the next Spielberg. He's being produced by all these Spielberg producers. And it's like, let's make an alien movie. But you can tell he still wants to make an M. Night movie. Something in line with Unbreakable and Sixth Sense. I don't know. It's not like I don't think he's trying to say anything, but at the same time.
Why do you say that? He's not trying to say anything.
Because it feels very like, and I'm getting this from your analysis on it, your interpretation of like, it's like up to like, it's just this guy tackling this. But as we already said, I'm putting it against the backdrop of aliens. And there's those parts where like, I'm telling you, I feel like the studio came in and be like, there needs to be more aliens.
I don't know. Does it feel that out there to have a spiritual drama set against aliens? Because aliens, they are, they come from outer space. They come from up above, the heavens.
Yeah.
Right? You have like Chariots of the Gods and all that stuff. Like, people have like long interpreted like religious stories as being, that was actually aliens came down and like, they built the pyramids and, they flooded the earth. Like, people believe that.
Absolutely.
So like, I don't feel like they're in like two different lanes. I feel like the way he's actually interwoven what would normally be disparate elements, he's interwoven them, I think, pretty well.
All right.
And hey, you got to go back to H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. That is a book that makes the point that, men neither live nor die in vain. We have earned our place on this earth by design.
Gets a shout out in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Somebody say it? Yeah.
It's like War of the Worlds.
Coming in 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still trying to put my finger on the pulse here.
You just wanted less aliens.
No, I think
you wanted more aliens.
I think initially, like, I was like I think I went into this thinking it was a thriller.
Oh, okay.
Because I heard a lot of people like describe, like, especially like that found footage scene is great.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's fantastic.
A little bit of a taste of
and
what
I'm
the
now
visit
realizing,
will be.
oh right, that's the one that everybody says is that your favorite scene in the movie?
No. My favorite scene is the monologue, like I was saying.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I'm so sorry. I'm just so like you.
Yeah. It did scare me a lot as a kid.
No,
though.
and I totally see why.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, those kids were like your age around that point. like yeah, and it like it'd be like, yeah, shared trauma with those kids in the movie. Like, what if that was my birthday party?
What I think is great about like a scene like that, and the scene in the cornfield where there's the leg, there's also the scene where the alien is like on the roof and everything.
Yeah.
We don't see the aliens a ton. And when we do see them, they're obscured through glasses or like the TV screen. This movie really has an interesting relationship with television and the way that it kind of poisons the mind in a way. I think it's interesting that we never actually are really seeing the aliens like face to face.
Yeah, that and the found footage scene is the same as like, Jaws like feeding the chum and then you finally see the shark. And you're like, whoa.
But you just see a glimpse of it.
You do. You see a glimpse and then it goes back away.
That sort of stokes the imagination. It makes it a little more scary.
It does. Because, you don't get a clear picture of the thing.
And how many people actually get to see their own demon, like their personal demon haunting them? I mean, really, It's something I think M. Night's kind of making a point about is like this ephemeral threat that will just come into your life.
Do you think he's making a point, or do you think at that point he's like, I'm going to get him?
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said M. Night's making a point.
I got you now, you sick son of a gun.
You got me, yeah. No, it's more just the point that I feel like that's what I get from the film.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
I'm looking at, like, and I really do respect the way that you see the movie. And I guess the way that I look, we are two sides of this coin of what the movie, I feel, is trying to do.
Yeah.
On that one side of the coin, it's trying to be that grounded look through the eyes of Mel Gibson's character and trauma and the family and dealing with this grief. And I think there's another side of that coin that wants to be cool, tense, thriller, we're fighting off aliens kind of thing. Or like scary aliens, but we don't really see them, but we kind of do.
Okay.
And I think to me, like, those two sides of the coin aren't working.
Okay.
Where I like, because like everything you're telling me about here, the subtext of it, yes, absolutely. What you're saying makes perfect sense. I can see that. And then the other side of just being an alien movie or like being like a spectacle of a movie, like having those showy moments of like the reveal, like the tensity, building up. Like, yeah, why would the news even show the entirety of that clip? Like, why wouldn't they just skip to the part with the alien? Like, no, because you're making a movie here. You want to get the audience in your grip and stuff like that. You're
playing the clip in its entirety so people know it's not edited.
Yeah, you show like the alien with the leg scene. You do like the whole like, what could have caused this corn not to break? Like you're building that mystery.
Can I say that I love
suspense?
Can I say that I love the crop circle thing?
It's great.
If we go with like the aliens as like soul reapers, I love the idea that they're here like in the agricultural fields.
Yes.
Like, it's great.
Like, yes, it is. And there's, like I said, there were bits where I'm like, oh, are we gonna go this route? Like, yeah, is this that tense thriller that I went in here like with the expectations of, and then it didn't, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not going to hold those expectations against the movie then. I'm going to go along this route with like, we are looking at this grounded drama.
Sure.
Almost against that spectacular backdrop. Oh, wait, we're kind of like going back to that spectacular backdrop again, like building tension. And now we're back to, at like the pizza shop or like him listening to the girl at the pharmacy. And then we're back to like the pantry scene. And then we're not. We're like looking at it more grounded through like his talk with his brother. And I don't know, it kept like going, like kept like tearing me back and forth.
A spiritual tug of war.
Oh my God. I guess so. Maybe what's happening here is I am in my own battle with M. Night Shyamalan.
I think this is true of like any movie. I think it's the same way that you have to sort of divine meaning from, I love that, divine meaning.
Yeah.
Right? I love that it has like a dual meaning, right?
It does.
The way that you have to divine meaning from anything in life. And I think a movie is like that. I think Signs is a movie all about trying to interpret and trying to figure out an interpretation that works for you.
Yes.
To appeal to your rational side, to your spiritual side, to your comforting side, like that's, and you're wrestling with it. And that's,
I am.
And that's great. I think that's what the movie wants you to do.
I'm wrestling with everything, every little answer being spoon-fed to me at the end with swing away.
But you were saying that you didn't feel like there was a message there, but now you're saying that it's spoon-fed.
I don't think it's a message per se, but like that's the plot twist to me. That like the plot, like I said, like the plot twist is not the water, like aliens are allergic to water.
Sure.
It is that my God, he had the answer inside him this whole time for this very minute. It's not is it a coincidence or is it a sign from God? And like we said, Mel Gibson obviously takes it as a sign from God. But I'm like, oh my God, this is the way we're going to go about this. Like, this is the way that we're going to actually like have his reckoning be at this moment, is from what his wife said through this trickled in little flashback throughout the movie.
I will say he does say her final words to Joaquin Phoenix before we actually see it.
Yes, and then it cuts back to that. Like, it cuts back to that conversation. As if like, did you forget? Did you forget about what we said there? Here it is. It's kind of like what he did with I See Dead People. Oh, I couldn't open the door.
Sure.
Oh, this is why she never acknowledged me. Like, that sort of thing.
You think it was too obvious about that reveal then?
I think it was just, at that point, one, it was an egregious reveal to me.
Okay.
It was just a...
Josh Brown says Signs is egregious.
I think, it's a sign, literally, like...
Dude, there were no stop signs in this movie.
It would have been like if Haley Joel Osment said, I have a sixth sense. It's that I see dead people.
Okay.
And I like that would ruin that even more
like,
for me.
You know, Bruce Willis is like, I'm unbreakable.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes. This is the first time where I'm like,
you didn't like that they just said signs.
That was a sign.
Okay.
Like the whole thing, it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, movie. I get what you're saying. And then, let's cut back to that conversation again between Joaquin and Mel Gibson, where she said, swing away, or like, what group are you? The one that believes in coincidences or the one that believes somebody's in your corner? And literally, there's the bat in the corner. And it's like, yeah, duh.
That's the twist. It's a revelation.
It's a bad revelation. It's a revelation that, like, I don't know. It's spoon-fed. It's a spoon-fed revelation that, like, it'd be more fun or, like, better for me. Like, from what you're, like, if I would be looking at this at that ending and be like, oh, okay. Like the way that you're analyzing it and that, like, what you're getting from it, like everything that you're saying, like, yeah, absolutely. But that's not what the movie is doing. It'd be like if we're looking at like the subtext of Old and what it's really trying to say, but nope. Literally, we have that revelation at the end. It's like, yes, the beach makes you older. It's scientifically made that way. Thanks.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't need that, but thanks for being a part of the movie.
All right, Josh. All right, I've had enough of this sign slander.
Oh, I'm trying not to. I wanted to.
No, you're good. I'm just joking. I'm curious. What would you? Because you rate on Letterboxd. What would you rate it?
I still think that this was a very well-made movie.
Okay.
My issues come with the writing and some of the
performances.
Not the performances you have me convinced on. And let's just say I don't hold that against Unbreakable and I don't hold that against Sixth Sense. It'd be hypocritical of me to do that now. I'd say it's some more of the, like, when they do want to be scary and tense, of like the hand coming through the coal grate and stuff like that. Like, I just don't think any of that was good.
Okay.
I just think I don't think it was bad. I think it was just lackluster.
It's a stoic kind of movie.
It is.
There's a stoicism to it.
So I would probably give this 3 to 3.5 stars.
That's pretty good, actually. That's way better than I thought you were going to say.
No, trust me. This is not like, if I hated this thing, I would be bashing on it. But, like, I would be bashing on it more.
Yeah.
But based on what we're talking about, like, and that comes from, like, being just 10 minutes from seeing the movie.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, I still, like I said, that first act is great. Okay? And I think, like, a lot of that discovery, some of those discovery bits during the second act, like that scene where they come together and they hold up, like, the baby monitor on the car, and how you're seeing, like, Joaquin Phoenix is buying into it, maybe a little too far. Like, you start seeing, what each of these characters represent.
Right.
And then they just don't go anywhere with that except for Mel Gibson's character. And that was the third act for me is what brought this down. I think I was sitting at like a 4.
Oh, really?
Like a 4 out of 5 after like the first act. And then I was like, okay, how are we going to shake this? Because I already know like that it trips into a glass of water. I knew nothing else. I've only ever seen like where it just trips into the water and it burns its shoulder.
Right.
So yeah, I would still say 3.5.
Okay.
On this.
That's pretty little heart next to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a heart. Unlike Old, which I give like 1.5 to 2 with a heart next to it.
Nice.
I gave Trap 4 stars, Tristan.
Holy shit! So you think Trap was better than Signs?
I do think Trap. I had much more fun which I think Trap wanted me to have fun. Okay. This movie was not asking me to have fun. I'm not going to hold that again. I didn't have fun during this Alien movie. What the hell, M. Night?
Right.
No.
This depressing, like, faith movie.
Yeah. And once I realized, like, that's what it was, like I said, I was, like, willing to go along on that ride. And then for me, it was, like, trying to pull me back and forth between, are we, like, tense alien thriller, or are we, like, faith movie?
Okay.
Two things that I just didn't think went together.
Interesting.
Which is interesting to me. Because, like, yeah.
If I can make a projection,
please do.
It's that I think that one day you are going to return to Signs, and I think you're going to like it more.
I think knowing what the movie is, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I could, but this initial watch, I am frustrated.
You're frustrated
because, like I said, like I've only seen Sixth Sense once.
Okay.
Unbreakable is the one that I tell everybody to watch. And I'll sit down and be like watching it with them, be like, huh, yeah. And this one was kind of like the one where you sat me down and said, we're gonna watch this.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like that experience of not being in the driver's seat, because you like back to the viewing.
Was I asleep at the wheel? Like
no, I don't. Oh
like
my god.
Yeah. Oh, he wasn't drunk driving. He just fell asleep at the wheel.
Well, like, and I don't like back to the viewing. Like, yeah, they were like, I wanted to like this movie. Like, I was trying to listen to every single line being said, and someone wouldn't shut their mouth. Jeffrey Bogus. But yeah, like I went into this really like, okay, I gotta lock in for this. This is like one of the last ones on the M. Night roster that I haven't seen. And for me, it definitely plays into that early part of his catalog. Nothing even remotely close to what it's become.
No.
Not that it's trying to. Like I said, I think for me, like he swung for the fences with this one. And it's kind of like a little fly out.
Okay.
A little fly
baseball
out
metaphor.
Yeah, it wasn't a foul ball. It was definitely not a swing and a miss. Okay, he didn't strike out on this one. I think he made solid contact, and for me, it was caught just shy of the wall.
Dude, that's awesome. Play ball, dude.
Yeah, Tristan's a totally.
I'm a big sports guy.
Huge baseball fan.
Yeah,
took him to a Pirates game over the summer.
Yeah, my knees are still sunburned.
Yeah, all he kept saying was, "Can we go home now?" Whole time.
Yeah, if that's America's pastime, all I can say was, all right, Josh. We got your opinion on it. I'm curious now. We need to have a brief conversation about, is this actually a blind spot?
Well, this is where this conversation will either go on for another hour, because are we going to debate what a blind spot is?
I don't feel like we need to. I feel like, we set the ground for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like something I talked to Jeff about in our Oscars ticket stubs episode. Film canon, right? And there's all sorts of film canons. There's the Best Picture film canon, where movies like Broadway Melody are on there, but no one's seen Broadway Melody.
Nobody gives a damn.
But it will always be a Best Picture winner.
And we are recording this the day of the Oscars, and tonight, like, film canon
is going to be amended.
And that goes for both ways. Either the one that wins is going to have a reputation, and the other one is going to be known for either it got snubbed or it barely beat out the other. Yeah. Because that's just the way film canon rolls.
I contend that Signs is part of another type of canon. It's not as prestigious as the Oscars.
Yeah,
but I do think it's one of those movies that a ton of people have seen. A lot of people have sort of fond memories of watching, especially when they were younger. Okay. In terms of like they were traumatized, it's like, that movie me up when I was a kid.
Like that guy who made like Sixth Sense Signs.
Yeah.
Sixth Sense Signs.
Exactly. For me, I think it's a blind spot. Like if you had told me, well, I'd seen your watch list. Signs wasn't on there. I was like, oh, I'm a little surprised, Josh, because you're such a big Spielberg fan too.
I am.
And if you're Spielberg, I feel like you can bounce to M. Night pretty easy.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, do you feel like this was a blind spot, or have I led you astray?
Are you my angel or my demon?
Exactly.
Which is it? So you came up with a really good point. Like there are many different types of blind spots. If someone came up to me, or if like I went up to somebody and be like, hey, have you seen Signs? And they went, no. I don't think I would give them a hard time.
None at all.
I think like, oh, well, my immediate response would be, well, have you seen Sixth Sense? Have you seen, or did you see, like, did you see The Visit? It's made by the same guy who made that.
Okay.
Even though that'd be leading them astray.
Do you feel like The Visit is more of a blind spot than
like that's
Signs?
No, because in another way, it's kind of like The Visit ties back to like what you said about Signs, is that so many people saw it. So many people saw Aquaman.
Sure.
Aquaman made almost $2 billion, Tristan.
Right.
Does that make it a blind spot?
No.
No.
It doesn't.
But that's because we know the quality of that movie.
Right.
Now, I would not say that Signs is nearly as abysmal as Aquaman.
It's certainly more iconic.
Right? But here's the thing. Because as I said earlier, I haven't been told by a bunch of people, like when we're talking M. Night, surprisingly for me, it's one of the ones that comes up the least.
That is surprising.
Because I think it is in such a weird spot.
Middle ground.
Because a bunch of people, but it's not really middle ground. It's middle ground to upper echelon. It's not the top. Because the top, everybody always references Sixth Sense or maybe even Unbreakable.
Split.
Yeah, or you go towards like the bottom echelon of like the later career.
Right.
Of like the Happening and Split. Or be like, oh yeah, then like The Visit. Or like, then he made Glass. Oh my God. But like Old, like you saw Old or like Trap. This is almost like a Knock at the Cabin, I feel like.
Oh.
Because when you say middle ground,
sure,
people always jump to The Village or Lady in the Water. That's where things got wonky. As this is like right in between The Village, Lady in the Water level and the Unbreakable Sixth Sense level.
Mm.
Just like Knock at the Cabin, some might say it falls in that same echelon.
Yeah.
But does it really warrant any discussion in terms of you haven't seen this?
Okay.
Whereas in like, it warrants terms of discussion like what you're saying about it. Yes, absolutely. And like, I really did like our discussion that we've had here. But like, I would have a much more fun time or like a better time saying like, oh, like you saw The Last Airbender. I'm so sorry. Go watch Unbreakable. Like, oh, like
a remedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, you've only seen Sixth Sense or like Unbreakable? Dude, go watch The Happening or The Visit. Or go watch Trap.
You're going to bypass the middle ground movies and go straight to the weird ones.
Honestly, because we're like, dude, what happened? Like, this guy made Sixth Sense. They makes like that. I'm like, yeah, like around like these movies called like The Village or like Lady in the Water, like he just fell off. Like it got bad.
Yeah.
Signs isn't that. Signs isn't the, oh my God, he fell off. Signs is kind of like in terms of like Spielberg, it's like an Empire of the Sun, where it's like, yep, like he just had The Color Purple, like right before it. And then right before that, he had like Temple of Doom, which still big spectacle, huge blockbuster, and like Raiders of the Lost Ark and E.T. And yeah, he's swinging for the fences on Empire of the Sun. And it's got some really important stuff to say about World War II and the eyes of like being through like a kid during that time who's brisked away. And then it would be like, and then Spielberg made like 1941.
Oh, yeah.
Which is notorious.
Infamous.
Right. Absolutely. And then he comes back and he does flipping Jurassic Park and Schindler's List in the same year.
Right.
I mean, nobody really talks about Empire of the Sun. Is Empire of the Sun a bad movie? No. Okay? Not at all. Not even remotely.
Is it Christian Bale's acting debut?
Yeah. It's a great movie. It's really good. But if someone comes up to me and is like, oh, I saw like Schindler's List. Like, oh, dude, go watch Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's the comparison. Like, does that make sense here?
It makes sense. I will say, part of my argument for Signs being a bona fide blind spot, I'm on Letterboxd right now, and the most popular M. Night movies, you have Split, which makes sense. That was a big deal when it came out.
It was huge, especially for like, if you look at the crowd that's on Letterboxd, it's the Gen Z generation.
Not only that, but it came out while Letterboxd was an actual platform. So people were actually going to the theaters to go log it and see it. Sixth Sense, number 2. That makes sense. That is
film
his
canon.
That is his most classic. It is film canon, 100%. That is a blind spot. No debate. Next, Trap. Right?
Most recent.
And also like kind of a phenomenon. Like people were joshing on the film.
Yeah, and the Letterboxd community has blown up since 2017.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, newer movies, it's why they're skewed heavily in rating, but also because so many people see them.
Exactly. Number 4, Old.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean,
again, these are all like the recent releases that a lot of people went and saw and were kind of like ragging on, except for The Sixth Sense. And the number 5 is Signs.
Over Unbreakable.
Yeah,
is that number 6?
Glass is over Unbreakable. Knock at the Cabin is over Unbreakable. I think Signs is more of a blind spot than Unbreakable, even though I think Unbreakable is a better film. See, part of the blind spot discussion, like trying to discern a blind spot, trying to divine meaning from a blind spot, is the how good is the movie, right? It's like
it is. Absolutely.
I feel like I would definitely be like, if someone were like, I like The Sixth Sense, what should I watch next? I would totally be like Unbreakable.
Absolutely.
Watch Unbreakable.
Like you and I would definitely make that argument. Unbreakable is a blind spot because of its quality.
But if someone said The Sixth Sense is great, I wonder if this guy has done anything else. I would say, have you seen Signs? Because like a lot of people have seen Signs, and if they were like, oh, I have, like that wouldn't surprise me because I'm like, yeah, it's a popular movie.
Gotcha.
So for me, I'm like Signs in terms of like the most famous M. Night movies before his career resurgence, like with Split.
Yes,
it would have been Sixth Sense and then Signs. Number 2.
Yeah, Signs was absolutely huge.
Yeah,
I'm not like I am not debating that whatsoever. It's almost like I don't know. Maybe I'm unfairly heading towards the Avatar discussion.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Ooh.
I know. What people love to say, it has no cultural significance whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because now I think that Signs, take me for example, what's it known for?
It was parodied in Scary Movie.
Exactly. Parodied in Scary Movie, and they're like the plot twist.
Okay.
Because that's just what M. Night has become known for.
And part of that is also like the legacy of Mel Gibson. It's like his movies have tended to kind of fall out of the canon a little bit.
They definitely have. Even though I was expecting a lot more from Joaquin in this movie.
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a bit part. This is before he got like really big too.
It's after Gladiator.
Is it really?
Yeah, that was 2000.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It is.
This is 3 years after Gladiator.
That actually is a little surprising to me then. Although, I think he turns in a good performance.
He does. Yeah. And I think like this is truly like this is peak M. Night.
Mm.
This is when he's at the top of his game. Because like this is still sitting at, like I checked Letterboxd, it's sitting at a 3.5.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad by any standards.
No.
But you see, like, I think as you were saying, there's people who love it. Like I have a bunch of friends who give it like a 4.5.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a lot who just give it like a 2.5.
Yeah.
And it's finding that middle ground. But
like
middle
ground movies can be blind spots.
Oh yeah, like there's hidden gems. There are. But this isn't a hidden gem because so many people have seen it. And so then you go to the, okay, but why do we talk about it? And I have never, ever heard a person discuss it the way that you do, even though I love the way that you discuss it and what you're getting from it. Because it's honestly like making me see it in a whole different light.
Right.
But that's not the common consensus.
Oh, damn. Okay, I see what you're saying. Something has sort of taken over with the discourse around Signs.
That totally goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is this movie is known because of the M. Night experience. Mm. The reason why everybody watched it was because this is him at his peak. Sixth Sense, like the fact that it's still a cultural like touchstone now.
Yeah.
And still made fun of now, or like well regarded.
Mm.
1999 to 27 years later, then we had like people going back and discovering Unbreakable because of like Split, which as we said is like his most popular movie.
Right.
That leads to that discovery. Signs, I feel like was purely, it's kind of like, I don't know, like an Iron Man 3.
Ooh.
Who talks about Iron Man 3? Ooh. But we all went and saw it.
Yeah.
Because of what came before.
I see what you're saying.
And this was back in a time where like a director and a writer, like I guarantee, like every ad was absolutely 1000% from the writer director of The Sixth Sense. In Unbreakable comes the next
Signs.
Yeah, Signs. And I bet all the trailers are focusing on those tense moments. Yeah. And like the leg in the cornfield.
Sure, that's just marketing.
Yeah, it is. It is
just marketing.
Like I said, if I talk to anybody about that movie, it's only because of it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie and they're allergic to water, which isn't even a big part of the movie.
No, it's not. There's sort of a double-edged sword with the M. Night brand.
Like I never, it is. Yeah, yes.
That's what it is. And it depends on your relationship, I think, with that brand before you go into a movie like Signs.
Exactly.
How you're going to take it. Because you're kind of being pulled in like early career Shyamalan and late career Shyamalan directions, I feel like, in the movie itself.
I never get any sense of late career.
Like the thrilling kind of stuff, like kind of the silliness of the film.
No, because I feel like there's moments of that in Sixth Sense, but they're played very well.
Okay.
Like there's some scary, tense moments in a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
That is The Sixth Sense. And there was some stuff that played well in this. Like I said, that scene, like with the kids and the dog, I'm like, oh my God, what's about to happen here? Because it was really great setup.
Mm-hmm.
And where because a lot of people like say either The Village, like I loved the first 2/3 of The Village. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's like you see that thing off in the distance and it's like, oh my God, it's brutal. I think that's his like first rated R one, maybe.
I can't remember.
Like maybe, and then the ending happens, and we all know the ending.
Sure.
And you're like, okay, well, that was a movie. Like that kind of just got stupid.
Okay.
And I don't think that this one got stupid until the revelation bit.
Okay. It's egregious. It's egregious.
That is the word I used. Yes.
Yes.
But that's why for me, like I said, I'm pulled as in like, this isn't totally middle ground. It's just a good movie from this guy.
Okay.
I don't think it's a hit, and it's not a hidden gem.
No, it's not. And it's probably not a blind spot to you.
To me, I can't believe I'm saying this only in like the second episode of The Blind Spot.
This is perfect.
To me, it's not a blind spot.
Oh, okay.
But I am not. By all means, I am not the universal decider.
No, of course not.
Who sits here at my throne?
No. Of course not. And that's not something we'd ever claim. And
No.
there are going to be different opinions on what constitutes a blind spot. Like I was telling you at the beginning of the episode, I didn't necessarily like think of Stand By Me as a blind spot at first. No. Goonies. That absolutely is. And you guys,
yes.
Yeah, you guys recorded that episode, never released it. But I was like, that makes sense. The Goonies. Yeah. I was like, that makes sense. Stand By Me, it's a little bit less of a blind spot to me. But I think you guys made a convincing argument for it. Maybe I haven't.
And that's in terms of quality.
Sure. Yeah, and it is a quality film.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is a movie that I think people should see just because of the quality. I wouldn't necessarily look at somebody and be like, what?
Yeah.
Stand By Me? You haven't seen it?
Whereas in Goonies is the flip side of that, like the commercial side of that.
Yeah.
Like,
Goonies,
oh my God, it's just a fun romp.
Yeah.
Like, and everybody and their mother has seen it.
Yeah, it's kind of middle of the road for me a little bit, but it's also fun, and also like if you grow up in a certain time period, your parents either grew up with it or they made you watch it because they grew up with it.
I feel like this one just falls into just a perfect chasm.
Yeah.
Of like what 2002 was as movies, because this got buried by Spider-Man.
Sure.
Out of that
Chamber
year.
of Secrets.
And
The Two Towers.
Two Towers, yes.
Attack of the Clones.
And it still did well.
Yeah, it did.
But like, yeah, you have like, out of like cultural significance, I don't think it.
Okay.
I don't, in my opinion.
All right.
In my opinion, and please, get in the comments, scream and yell at me and tell me how wrong I am.
Or how right.
Tell us how right Tristan is, and ask for a full extra pod episode where he goes scene by scene explaining what every bit represents, because I would listen to that.
Maybe, yeah, you'll get my my commentary next time.
Now we have to do a signs watch along.
That'd be fun.
Where you just
me and Jeff
we're starting the movie,
while you're trying to listen to the movie.
The whole time it's me for the guys. I can't hear it. Guys, shut up, guys, please.
All right, well, I've commandeered the blind spots long enough, and it sounds like
I don't want to be on anymore.
It sounds like someone else needs to take this wheel. Josh, I think we're ready to wrap up. I'll go ahead and kind of say, thank you for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Hard Ticket Podcast. We're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming here soon. You can follow me on Letterboxd, Tristan Moore. Follow me on Instagram at Tristan__less. hardticketpodcast@gmail.com. That's the email. Josh, anything to plug?
Yeah, you can find me on Letterboxd with my middling reviews. Buddy,
they're not middling.
They used to be good when I had no time, when I had like so much time on my hands not working. At Joshy Brown, and you can also find me on Instagram at JoshyBrown1012, handle I came back up with back in 8th grade.
Nice.
Still going strong 10 years later. But yeah, no, thanks for tuning back into the Blind Spots. Unless it's your first time, welcome to it. Glad to have Tristan Moore at the helm here, because I was taken for a wonderful ride by him, not necessarily the movie.
I just wanted to fill in what I thought was a blind spot for you.
And I'm not going to go back to the conversation because that's actually a good point.
It's a personal journey for you, and I was happy to kind of be there by your side.
It's a good one to have off the checklist.
Yes,
I feel like for the completionist.
Yeah, now you just got to see what Knock at the Cabin, and is that it?
After Earth and
dude.
Last Airbender.
Oh, dude,
I'm in for a ride. Oh, and Lady in the Water.
Okay, so you have.
This was the one that I was like, okay, I can hold out hope for.
Yeah.
Anywho,
now abandon all hope, ye who enter into this man's filmography. Thank you again for listening to The Blind Spots. Toodaloo, and
that's what we say here.
That's what we say here on The Blind Spots.